Julia Gillard is facing small but unusual signs of unrest in sections of her caucus. Right-wing factional figures have questioned the Prime Minister over Labor's decision to back the Greens on a bill reducing federal powers to overrule laws in the territories. Their talks reflect broader concerns about Labor's willingness to do deals with the Greens. From Canberra, Francis Bell reports.
Playing host to the Malaysian Prime Minister, Julia Gillard is also bringing the diplomatic touch to members of her own caucus. Right-wing faction leaders have told the Prime Minister they're unhappy with the government's support for a Greens bill enhancing the powers of the territories.
They've just started to realise that they've got Prime Minister Bob Gillard, or is it Prime Minister Julia Brown? They're not too sure at the moment.
The Senate President John Hogg and fellow Senators Don Farrell and Steve Hutchins personally lobbied Julia Gillard and her deputy Wayne Swan to stall the bill and send it off to a committee because of fears it was a backdoor attempt to allow gay marriage and euthanasia in the ACT and Northern Territory.
They raised a series of issues about this bill, which I think are entirely legitimate. The Prime Minister listened to their views.
But Simon Crean, who briefed caucus on the bill earlier this week, says the concerns are unfounded.
The question is, what's the mechanism for override? At the moment, the Parliament can override or a minister can override. The effect of the bill is to simply take away the power of the minister to override.
The man who instigated the move is just as perplexed by the fuss in Labor's ranks.
Any of them like to come and talk with me, I'll explain why it's an extremely good bill, why it should proceed, and why it will enhance democracy in this country of ours if we get it through the Parliament.
Moral concerns about euthanasia and gay marriage explain some of the unrest among right-wing factional leaders, but not all of it. They're just as worried about how comfortable Labor has become about doing deals with the Greens. Francis Bell, ABC News, Canberra.